And we are live.
Episode 2.
All right.
Cool.
Today we got some things to talk about. I think the most important thing in the front of everyone's mind.
Wait, we're not on. I forgot. I got to put up like a topic.
And now we're on. You guys didn't hear that first intro because we thought we were on, but we weren't on. But
Worst
now
Fans Radio.
we are on to episode 2 of the Worst Fans Radio. This is my man Wilson Wilding.
Hey.
Say hello again.
What's up?
Hey, you made it. This is your man Sly, and we are here to ring in the new baseball season. As soon as we heard that baseball was back, we were so excited. We knew we just had to get on the mic and start talking about it, right?
Baseball is back. And as discouraged as I might have been during the lockout,
right?
None of that matters right now.
No.
I know there's still issues, but right now I'm excited about, I'm excited about the New York Mets. I can't beat around the bush here.
How can you not be? They're looking pretty good. I'm excited about the hot stove. Fire it up, man. I'm a Yankees fan, and it's been pretty disappointing so far from that perspective, but I'm just excited to start seeing some dominoes fall and see what happens.
Let's just jump right into the Yankees because I got so many questions for you right now.
Okay.
One, they got to do something, right?
Well, you and I can both think they got to do something, but ownership doesn't think that way. You saw Aaron Boone coming out with the message, she's towing the party line. We can win with what we have. Usually a team that says we can win with what we have is either just trying to drive down prices or they're just not interested in doing anything.
So who's the shortstop then?
They said that Giovanni Urshela is your shortstop as of this moment, which is just... I'm really, really hoping it's your Bubba Crosby as our center fielder or whatever it was. The former meme from the olden days. But it's... Tim LeCastro ain't going to do it.
No, and that is their... Would you call that the big move so far?
They re-signed the reliever, Joely Rodriguez. That's a good move.
Okay.
Big fan of him in the pen. He was pretty good last year.
I dig that.
And then Jose Peraza, who seems like he was we're not really trying to compete small market team type signing.
Mets legend Jose Peraza.
Yeah, that's not great. I don't love that. But, minor league deals, let these guys sit. If you need them, you're gonna. People get hurt, especially it seems on the Yankees. But, for a team that seems to have a lot of money and holes, they haven't really done much, but there's another team in New York that doesn't really seem to have many holes at all and seems to have an abundance of riches. And I know that you're excited about them because you just told me you were. So why don't you tell me why you're so excited about the Mets?
It's getting ridiculous at this point, but, we spoke last night off the air about Chris Bassett when that trade went down because I didn't really know, I don't really know anything about the Oakland A's in general. I know Chapman, is he still there on the A's? So you don't either. It's the A's. You don't see them that much.
Yeah, they're not a team that's really in my sights, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. But you and JT both had encouraging things to say about Chris Bassett.
Well, I know who Chris Bassett is. Yeah, I think that he's someone... I remember a few years ago when he came out of nowhere, and it was pretty... it was a fun ride. It was a summer hot fling that had the cool... the Bassett Hounds are his fans, and they love Chris Bassett, and he's doing so well. He's been consistent, he's a good starter. I think he's going to be a good mid-rotation guy, and, he will probably even out in the 3 or 4 range as far as results go.
That's all we need.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
With DeGrom and Scherzer, you basically have 2 1s. You can have a 3 as your number 2.
And it's nice to finally have Max Scherzer throwing bullpen sessions in the Mets colors.
Have you watched it?
I watched the little video.
How did that make you feel? That must have been a great feeling.
It was nice, man.
It was nice, right?
But actually, the one I loved was this morning, Jacob deGrom and Dom Smith arrived at the same time. And Dom Smith's got a big hoodie on. He's got a giant gym bag with all his stuff on it. You can see him. He's a little further ahead in the parking lot. He stops and he's saying something to Jake, waiting for him to catch up. And deGrom is coming out of his car, and he literally just has a pair of shoes in one hand, and that's it.
That's amazing. I love it. It's so exciting, man. This is the time where, like I was saying during the lockout, we shouldn't be worried about negotiations. We should be hearing bullshit about who's in the best shape of their lives.
Oh, totally.
And we should hear about someone who's learning a new pitch to throw 10 times in spring training to never be heard from again.
Do you think we're going to get a best shape for our lives guy, or do you think we missed so much of the offseason?
I think we missed that. It's over. Yeah. I mean, at this point, spring training is going to start before all the free agents are even signed.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, I mean, it's
just tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's a reality. I mean, no one of any metal other than Carlos Rodon has really signed. I mean, you know, we can debate. Kikuchi. I know how to pronounce it. Kikuchi. We can debate, you know, Kikuchi, but he's definitely not on the level of a Rodon or your actual upper top level free agents.
No. Good pickup, good depth pickup for the Blue Jays.
Oh, of course. I mean, look, the Blue Jays, as a Yankees fan, it's not great watching a team in the East spend all this money and fill their holes and get better, you know? But at the same time, you never know. Best team on paper wins the offseason doesn't mean shit once the regular season starts. But you know what? Have an effect on it. We were talking about this, the potential schedule change.
Yes.
Is that happening this year, or is that going to affect
next year?
It's going
to be for 2023, yeah.
So that's next year. So this is the last year where you'll have such a heavily weighted division schedule.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I kind of like how many times that you play your division rivals, because if you're going to have the best record in your division go to the playoffs, shouldn't it really be a fair and true competition between you and the rest of those teams in the division?
But if everybody's playing the teams the same amount of time, isn't that a fair competition?
Well, that's the thing, right? Just if you're in a bad division and it's all bad teams, sure. But at the same time, that's the point, isn't it? Like, it's not about why even have a division trying to make it all fair. Why not just, here's every team in each league, there's just the American, the National, and the top X teams make it. Because if you're not doing it where your divisions are heavily favored and those are your main competition, what's the point of having them?
Can I get a little spicy here?
Please, spicy.
Why not do that? I think that's where we're going.
Sure, I'm into it. I mean, everything is...
Do we need to see an AL Central team every year if no one in the AL Central is good?
No, I mean, and everything is cyclical again, right? Like when I was in 7th grade, bell bottoms came back. You know, so why not go back to when there was just 2 leagues? Who needs divisions?
Well, especially now it makes sense, because if you're going to expand the playoffs now, I mean, when there were only 2 divisions, it was like, for a while there wasn't even an LCS.
Yeah.
Let alone a DS, let alone a wild card game.
Right. Yeah.
But now we have all that, so it's like, it's not quite as, you know, there's 8 good teams, but only 2 of them get in.
Mm-hmm.
Now if there's 8 good teams, they all get in, and then there's also some mediocre teams that get in.
Yeah.
And there's going to be mediocre teams that get in.
Well, that's the thing, right? If you're really looking to make the most competitive balance you can have, you don't want 3 divisions, like you said, because if the Central, let's say that, so the American League East is usually historically a weaker division just recently, in recent memory, right? You've got Seattle and Oakland, who are not always into it far into the year. Texas has been bad for a while. Anaheim, California, Anaheim, the Angels, they can be hit or miss.
Los Angeles?
I don't even know anymore.
The Angels.
The Angels. You know, they're up and down. I feel like it's the most up and down division, and who wants a team that could finish 4 games over 500 winning their division and getting guaranteed one of the 12, 14 spots in the playoffs now, and then another team that could be 10 games over 500 but played in a division with 3 teams that won more games get hosed? Like, how can they care about that as much? You know?
I agree with this. Actually, I think from watching the soccer, where everybody just plays everybody else twice, once home, once away, so it's almost like you can compare, how did this team do playing away at Chelsea? How did this team do playing away at Chelsea? And you can get a good idea of a sense of like parity across the league.
Yep.
And I think with baseball, if we kind of went in that direction, suddenly you can't just win your division. Mm-hmm. And I think that makes teams... You
just have to be a good team.
Spend more. I think that makes teams more efficiently run.
It's different when you're competing against, what, is there 30 MLB teams?
Yeah.
It's different when you're competing against 4 or 5 other teams as opposed to 14 other teams.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that would... But I don't think competitive balance is really what anyone's interested in. I don't think anyone's really interested in making, from the ownership side, making teams more competitive and actually making the games more exciting, because the teams want to be able to not spend money and be bad and still make playoff revenue. So they don't want to compete against 14 other teams. They're happy to compete against 5 in their division.
Your hypothetical only makes sense if you like baseball.
Right, and the owners do not like baseball.
Exactly.
That's what blows my mind. The commissioner and owners still do not seem to like baseball. Look, we said we weren't going to get into this, but how can you not? It's just part and parcel for everything. But that's genuinely how it feels.
Go off, King.
Yeah. As a fan, that's definitely how it feels. As someone who loves baseball and has always loved baseball, the more and more I see and hear about owners and the way that the league is run and is going, it takes away that shine of when I was younger that I would be like, yeah, watch a last place in the Central against a last place in the West game in August for no reason, just because it's baseball.
Yeah.
But like without feeling like the people who are the stewards of the game give a shit about the game, it's harder for me to put as much into the game, even though I still want to.
I agree with that, and I think having it all on the table the past couple months has really, really soured the vibes.
There's been a lot of vibe souring, so I think we need to see some monster dongs soon and some complete game shutout. Maybe some no hitters. Maybe we'll get another no hitter run like last year. Because look, people think that it taints the game. It shouldn't be that easy. The balls are dead and whatever people were saying. I love it. I love a 1-0 pitcher's duel that could end in a no hitter just as much as a 15-12 fucking fireworks show.
No, 100%. And there's still so much chance with no hitters.
Mm-hmm.
It's still special.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who probably won't throw a no hitter because he's a bullpen guy is Adam Ottavino. He's the most recent Mets pickup.
I have a feeling he'll be giving up a lot of hits.
Yeah, so I remember him from the Yankees. I remember the trade with the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. And I know he's got that nasty. Is it a curveball? Is it a slider?
I don't know what to call anything.
But you have experience watching him. Give me Sly scouting report here.
I mean, when the pitch was on, the dude was unhittable, and when it wasn't, it was hit very hard, far, and where people weren't. So, I don't know. I feel like he's not young anymore.
No.
He's somewhat removed from his last big success. I feel like he's just as likely to be a nothing as he is to be a large part of the bullpen. But the upside is still there where I don't know what the cost was, how much they paid him. I assume it was only $1 to $3 million. And, in this day and age when bullpen arms aren't cheap, he's getting that. So let me say it this way.
Please.
He's still skating on name value and has another year. Either this is the last year or he has another year of skating on the name of Adam Ottavino and the success he's had previously before people realize that that's just no longer who he is.
1 year, $4 million.
Yeah, sure. So
go live.
And look, if a team, that's what teams that are trying to win do. You throw $2 to $5 million at a guy who could be awesome and could be terrible, and if he's terrible, who cares? It was $4 to $5 million. We're out from under it at the end of the year, and we'll figure out something else as we go. Right? That's what good teams do.
The Mets.
How's that mean?
Like it's going to be the end of the world.
So do you still feel like you're in a dream that it isn't the Wilpons and that the Mets actually signed Max Scherzer and traded for Francisco Lindor? Despite some Mets fans' feelings on Lindor. Let's give him another chance, guys.
The Lindor thing was cool. The Scherzer thing does feel like another level of it.
Okay.
Next level. I think once he's on the field, they'll really hit me. And we were talking about like the not being into like just random games, anything like that, or maybe people being disinterested this year. Something cool is going to happen
I hope
in
so.
April.
Yeah.
And it's going to get a lot of people back on board, I think.
Okay.
Just the magic of the sport, and I believe in the magic of the sport, and I believe in it because it exists, man. Something cool is going to happen. Some rookie's going to do something cool, or Clayton Kershaw could have the best season of his career right now when everybody thinks he's washed. Like, something cool will happen. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be cool.
So you're in the Mystique and Aura camp.
I know it when I see it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would love to see it, but I don't know that I believe in the vibe enough to believe that it'll happen.
But you love cool stuff.
I love cool stuff. I mean, who doesn't? Show me a person that doesn't love cool stuff.
You're just skeptical.
You were saying April. I'm skeptical that we'll get something that definitive in the first quarter of the season.
I don't know if it'll be necessarily the greatest moment of the season, but it'll be the one that gets people back in.
I mean, as our buddy JT Kirkman always says, I'm Team Chaos. So, I mean, if horrible things happen, I'm just as happy with the train wreck as I am with the good things happening because it's all historic. I mean, I'm a proponent of letting them take whatever they want and just letting them see who can hit the ball further. But I also I would love to believe. But I'm not as firm of a believer as you are.
I got you.
Put it that way.
I just think
I hope you're right, though.
I'm going to be right, and we're going to be on the episode in like 3-4 weeks. Or I guess 4 or 5 weeks at this point. we'll be talking about something cool. I don't know what it's going to be.
So how long? Let's do something like this.
Please.
What type of event would you say would fit into your category? Are you talking a no-hitter? Are you talking a perfect game or a cycle or what? A 4-home run game?
It could be stuff like that. I think there's other stuff it could be too. I think of like the moment where like was it Prince Fielder eating the popcorn?
I was Joey Votto.
Joey Votto was eating
he's
the
done that a bunch
too.
of times. Maybe Prince Fielder did it too. That's a
about,
common thing. I think
about,
Rizzo's done it too.
McCutcheon making the kid cry, giving him the batting gloves. Just something special. It could be
okay.
It could be an on the field thing. It could be an off the field thing. It could be something dumb like somebody's like towel falling off and we see somebody's butt during a press conference. But the magic of baseball is there, man.
Okay. I don't know if that stuff's just applicable to baseball, locker room stuff, but more so the fan interaction. There's not another sport where you really get that fan interaction because there's, I mean, sure, in the NBA you get the rare person diving in the stands. I watched a clip the other day of the title of it was that time Shaq saved a kid's life, and it was just from Shaq jumping over the chair this like 5-year-old was in instead of literally trucking him like a linebacker sacking a quarterback.
Boy.
You know, and that's the only other sport where you can get that kind of fan interaction.
Yeah.
But in baseball, you're so close, and so many routine plays can bring you so close to the fans, whether it's a ball you're jumping for as an outfielder or going for a foul pop-up as a first or third baseman. Usually, sometimes they're second, and shortstop will range over there.
Yeah.
You know, or like an corner outfielder, stuff like that. It's cool when you can have that kind of cool stuff. I agree. And I think that kind of stuff will happen. But, you know, to me, oh, wow, he missed the pop-up and he spilled the guy's beer and he ate some popcorn and then had a new beer sent to him. That's not baseball mystique and aura to me.
No, I understand that. I'm just talking about a moment that gets people kind of back on board.
All right, so you're talking about a buy back in moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. And it doesn't have to be on a play on the field.
Right.
Okay.
For us, it doesn't. Maybe for some people, it does.
You know, it was a buy back in moment for me.
Yeah. No, I don't, but hit me with it.
Joe West. Retiring.
Yeah, R.I.P. Joe West. He's still alive.
He's still alive, but we couldn't be happier his career is over.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Joe West's career. The human being, you do what you want, but R.I.P. Joe West's career.
Longest serving umpire of all time.
Oh, and he was awful for more than half of it. Yeah.
I think that's generous.
I'm feeling generous today. What can I say? It's Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, but that was a buy-back in moment. I that was the first moment I had hope in a long time during the lockout when he retired. I was like, the earth is healing.
Can I ask you just a random question I had about the Yankees? That
Please,
I think you'll
sure.
have some insight on.
I'll pretend like I know the answer.
You got some big corner outfield boys.
Yeah. You mean our Giancarlo DH Stanton?
Yeah. I'm gonna say you have more corner outfield big boys than you have corner outfield spots almost at this point.
Oh, what? So you got Gallo, Stanton, and Judge? Well, I mean, you're probably gonna see Stanton DHing, unfortunately.
Have they ever stuck one of those guys at first base?
Yeah.
It's not good?
You can't just stick someone at first base. We've tried that, and it's gone quite poorly. I mean, you probably don't remember they tried to put Posada at first base a bunch.
Oh, no, I don't.
That went bad.
I remember Todd Hundley at first base.
Yeah.
That was not good.
I feel like Hundley was a catcher / first baseman.
Not really. It was mostly injuries.
He was just there.
Piazza was worse, but I think
right,
was
and that's
bad,
it's not an easy position. You are in every infield play, and it's so much footwork and experience, you know? I mean, none of them are... I mean, they're all like that.
They're not super...
Everyone's like, anyone can play first base. It's not that easy.
I know it's not that easy, but I feel like...
if you put Stanton or Judge at first base, I feel like they're injured in a week. Wow. I mean, the dude can't play the outfield. He can. I feel like if Stanton plays the outfield, if Gallo didn't exist and they put him in left field... He's gonna, if he gets hurt, it's not because he's injury prone. It's just it'll happen, you know. I just think that he could do it and he could mash, and I think he could have an MVP year. I love Giancarlo Stanton.
I remember him with the Marlins, of course.
But he's gonna end up DHing just because Gallo, I think, is younger and seems more spry at this point.
Gallo's younger, huh?
I would guess. Yeah. I don't remember Gallo being around in like 2012, 2013, and Stanton's been around for almost 10 years now.
Stanton was young though, right?
I couldn't tell you. I just remember looking at his BREF page the other day, looking up some stats, and he's been around way longer than I would have guessed. I would have lost. Yeah.
I remember young.
I can't wait. I love watching and mash baseballs so much.
He's a fun player.
He carried the team a couple times over the last couple of years. He's been so clutch in the playoffs. The dude is just... He's shown that he's here to play when he's healthy, and we just need to keep him healthy, and I think he can compete for an MVP. He's already won, what, one?
He has. I
think he came in second.
I didn't realize the injuries had him that bad. Is it just that he keeps getting hurt?
Well, so all the injuries with the Marlins weren't things he could help. You know, he got hit in the face twice, and then I think he broke a bone getting hit another time or something like that. You know, it's been the soft tissue stuff. He's got calf pains, hamstring pains, you know, sleds, those little nowhere, and then you get a commission time. It's hard to find your footing and find a rhythm when you can barely and go through your activities because of some stupid nagging injury like that, you know?
It's true.
Groin, core, hamstring, calf, you know, you get a little tear there, and that's more trouble than it's worth.
It's a shame, too, because you can't really predict that stuff.
That's the problem. It's not. I mean, look, he has all his injuries. You can't predict anything. You can't predict a guy getting hit in the face twice. If I'm him, I'm amazed the man still plays baseball and hangs in the batter's box. Getting hit in the face once is a world-shattering experience. Imagine it happening again. Fuck's sake. Yeah. We should all just be witness and happy to have him in the batter's box and not flinching every time the pitcher lets go of the ball.
So give me a gut feeling here. I know I put you on the spot last week. Fine. I might just do it every week now.
Put me on the spot. Let's see how I do.
You think the Yankees are signing anybody big?
Oh, man, I don't know. I just want.
Who do you want?
Who do I want?
Yeah, that's a better question because you know
that's the thing. There's so many good options. Like, I would love for them to get Freddie Freeman, and if you end up with Freddie Freeman and, you know, the lesser of the shortstops like a Trevor Story, sure. But if you get Rizzo and Correa, also cool. Like, I don't have a problem. I root for the laundry. You know, you learn a long time ago not to actually get caught up on the players. There's so many players that I hate this man. I hate him, and then he's now on the Yankees. What do I do? You root for him. What are you supposed to do? Yeah. They're all every one of them has something wrong with them in some way. None of them are perfect. Like the rest of us, none of us are perfect. If you put any of us in the spotlight, someone will find something to get angry about that makes them think we're a piece of crap. Yeah. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't, but some people are, regardless. But I can't really be bothered by the whole cheating thing. Sure, it bothers me now, but if he's going to be on my team, I have to just deal with it and hate him silently while hoping he's successful.
Also, it wasn't just him.
No, of course it wasn't just him, but it's the whole stink of it just bothers me still, you know? But at the same time, he's a good baseball player. If the team pays him a lot of money and he continues to be... That's the point.
Yeah. And how else is he going to redeem himself?
And
by doing his job, you know?
Right, but I understand the argument too, but it doesn't have to be for my team. But you can't claim the moral high ground with half the people on the team. I mean, the team still employs... I'd rather a guy like Correa on my team who's cheating than Aroldis Chapman or Domingo Germán.
Yeah, 100%.
Accountable and say you don't want them on your team because of the things they've done. I find it a bit hypocritical to not want Carlos Correa on your team because of the things he's done. That's where I'm at.
I think Correa on the Yankees would be exciting, man.
I think it would be cool. I would be happy with Seager, Story, or Correa because all three of them are good, and I don't give a shit. It's not my money.
Seager signed though, right?
Did he?
On the Rangers. I thought that was a pre.
Oh, was he? I see. I don't.
Tracker because we wanted to go through the top 10 free agents.
Yeah. I don't remember if he
remaining.
Baez signed in Detroit. I remember that, which is interesting.
So let's pull this up, and we're gonna do a little MLB trade rumors, top 10 free agents.
My favorite former Yankee, sarcasm, Sonny Gray got traded today. Sonny Gray got traded to the Twins, back to the AL.
Back to the AL.
Yeah. Where, I mean, since there's no more pitcher in the NL, there's no more difference anymore, so it's like it matters. But had the pitcher still been hitting, I would say that he might have a slight downgrade in performance just because you have the DH and an extra hitter. But it's all relative now. Signed somewhere?
So number 1, we already talked about him.
Yep.
Number 2, Seager signed with the Rangers, 10 years, $325. That was right before the
I did
lockout.
miss that. My fault. So if he's getting 10 for $325, Correa's looking for what? 12 for like $390?
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Jeez,
maybe
man.
Just 10 for more per year. Something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Number 3, Freddie Freeman.
I mean, Freddie Freeman is one of the best hitters in the major leagues consistently year in and year out. I would love to have him on my team. I struggle to justify paying a first baseman that much money. But at the same time, I mean, he's what? A perennial batting title contender who is the total package. And I don't know how good is, but I've never heard anything bad. I mean, he's at least league average to above. I think he's actually pretty good, if I were to guess.
It wouldn't shock me if he had gold gloves, to be honest.
I think he's a good defender. I just don't know, so I'm kind of hedging my bets here.
Yeah, I haven't.
But that's the kind of guy you pay up for.
I see him enough that I would know if he was bad.
Right. It's just with the proliferation of home runs in the game, that him and the hitting for average puts him above and beyond. But it's still hard because historically the first base position is like you sign a guy who hits a lot of home runs there, and then it never really ends well.
That's true. Chris Bryant,
where do you think he ends up?
I don't understand why the Giants wouldn't take him back.
Yeah.
I've heard.
How about Rodon to the Giants? I didn't see that coming.
No, and that's a great move for them.
I think so too.
That's an upgrade.
Yes.
And the Giants were good last year. Maybe it was a little surprising that they were good, and I think they know that. Mm-hmm. And I think this shores up. They're going to stay in it a little more now.
Yeah. Well, I think they were also, sure, it was a little out of nowhere and potentially unsustainable, but there were also some things that you were looking for to move forward with, like seeing Logan Webb kind of take that step forward to recognize and realize the talent and put it all together. That means you add.
If I'm a Giants fan, I think there's something to build on.
Yes, I agree with that. But I also don't think that they're going to become World Series contenders this year with a couple free agent signings. They'll compete, and they may make it and they may not. But I think that they're in the window to start building towards a competitive championship team window.
It's still a tough division.
Yeah. The Dodgers are going to spend. They're going to keep doing everything they can to prop that window open.
The Giants will make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so. With this many teams,
exactly.
I find it. Plus, they're a team that even when they're rebuilding, they accidentally fall forwards.
Like the Broncos,
it's amazing.
Man. It's like the Broncos.
Yeah, well, the A's too. The A's and the Giants, even when they don't seem to be trying, always fall forward. Yeah. There's got to be something in the water out west.
It's something. I think it's just like better run organizations from a baseball standpoint.
Sure, yeah.
Gausman was number 5. He signed.
Who?
Kevin Gausman.
Oh, Gausman. Yeah. Toronto, man. Toronto's not messing around, but know how I feel about giving Kevin Gausman 5 years.
Yeah. Marcus Semien, number 6.
Oh, right. Yep.
Texas.
He's in Texas too, right?
Texas went big.
Man, that's a serious middle of the infield with Semien and Seager for 10 years each?
Semien in 7 years.
7. So that's a serious.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
That team got better.
Yeah. Semien does play second, right? I know he played all over the infield. I think in Toronto.
He must. Yeah. Robbie Ray, number 7.
Where did he end up?
He ended up with the Mariners. 5 years, $115.
Yeah, can't say I care about that. Yeah. They'll be terrible and he'll get traded.
Number 8, Trevor Story.
Still unsigned.
So
we're looking at Correa or Story as your shortstops.
Number 9, Max Scherzer. We already talked about him.
Oh yeah, tell me again where he signed. Tell me again.
He went back to Detroit, right?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh wait, where was it again?
Oh no, is he?
what team is he on?
Is he a number 2 starter on the Mets? Is that what he is?
Oh yeah. Can you believe that? The only 2 pitchers in baseball that probably would slot in front of Max Scherzer in a rotation are both in New York.
3 of the top 10 ERAs, seasons combined.
I'm really mad that he went to the Mets and not the Yankees. However, being a baseball fan living in our wonderful state of New York and having SNY and yes on my cable provider, I now get to watch 3 nights a week where the potential number 1 starter in the game is pitching. I can watch 3 guys who may throw a no-hitter and strike out 10 people every time. That's so exciting. I love that.
I have already seen Max Scherzer throw a no-hitter in Citi Field.
Oh, that's right.
I want another one.
Yeah, it would mean something this time instead of just be frustrating, well, that was cool.
Exactly.
You were at the Johan one, weren't you?
That was fun.
Perfect
Johan's
game.
birthday today, I believe.
Nice. Hey, Johan. It's good for you guys. That ended up being worth it.
Yeah.
I can't believe you've seen 3 no-hitters. Fuck you. 1 perfect game and 2 no-hitters. 1
perfect game and 2 no-hitters, yeah.
I can't. I'm so angry at you. I'm jealous. I'm angry because I'm jealous. I'm not really angry, but that's awesome. I'm so jealous.
You got to go to the games, man.
No shit.
Well, we're definitely going to go to some Scherzer starts. I didn't see Jake last year.
I'm a 15-minute ride from Citi Field here, so let's do it. I'm in. Sweet. And Citi Field's just nicer.
It's nice, dude, and it's convenient. Number 10, Nick Castellanos.
Deep drive.
Who also hasn't signed.
I wonder where he ends up.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, is he a good defender or is he a DH candidate now? He's probably still a guy that can play left field, right?
Let's see what they say about him here.
I think he's a left fielder. I feel like if I don't know what position you play left field.
By outs above average, he was the second worst right fielder in the game.
He played right field. Yeah, second worst right fielder. Okay, I have a whole lot of wrong on all that.
Below average is what they would say on MLB trade rumors.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's been good long enough, I guess, for it to be real. I don't know. He's not someone I think of as a superstar, even though he's putting up superstar numbers. Solid. Yeah, it's a mentality. What's it called? I just don't associate him with putting up the numbers he has, even though he factually has.
I think it's a market thing.
I have to rationalize that.
I think it's a market thing. Like we were talking about how I don't know a lot of guys on the A's. I feel like the Reds are also in that kind of no man's land out there. It's like it takes a lot to be noticed on the Reds.
That's fair, I guess. Although I don't know, maybe it's because I played in an NL only rotisserie league for a few years. And that's talked about because it's always so close. Because I feel like Cincinnati, St. Louis, Chicago, and Milwaukee are always competitive with each other for at least half to 2/3 of the year. So the division gets a lot of coverage because of that, as opposed to a division where a team just runs away with it and no one else is even competitive.
I think it gets coverage as a division and as a race. I don't know if the individual guys that are mashing in there on the West Coast or the East Coast.
No, but at the same time, they get the same exposure because if the division's being followed, those guys' highlights are being shown just as frequently. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily think I see Reds highlights. I see NL Central highlights all the time because it's always very close, very tight, and the games are very competitive and usually exciting.
I feel like even within that division, you hear about the Cubs and the Cardinals more.
Okay.
Even the Brewers, who have been better than probably both of those teams over the last few years,
oh, man.
I don't hear about as much as the Cubs and the Cardinals.
I'm so excited to see Corbin blow up.
Yeah.
What is that dude going to do? I can't wait to see what that dude's going to do.
Nice pitcher.
Him and Woodman? What's the other guy's name?
Brandon Workman?
No, Brendan Workman's a reliever who I think just signed a minor league deal with the Red
Woodruff.
Sox. Brandon Woodruff?
Let's look it up, but I think that's right.
Yeah. It's funny, right? Because the year before, Burns was the afterthought, and we're all like, Woodruff! And then last year, they were just both lights out. That's the thing, right? It feels like Woodruff couldn't have had that great of a year just because of how good Burns' year was. When you look at Woodruff, I'm pretty sure he also had an amazing year where in a vacuum it would be this, whoa! But
Brendan Woodruff's 2021, he was an all-star.
Good start. Although I hate using that as a gauge. It's voted on by the fans. It's such bullshit.
5.7 WAR, which is...
As a starter, I mean...
That's nice. I mean, I was looking at Bassett yesterday. Bassett was 4, and everyone said he had a great year, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Woodruff had an amazing year, but he was overshadowed by Corbin Burns, who blew the top off everything.
I mean, these are unbelievable numbers, actually. His win-loss is 9 wins, 10 losses, but his ERA, 2.56.
Oh, come on!
Dude. 179 innings, 30 starts. Dude, that's a solid season.
I mean,
that's unbelievable.
This is a season...
5th in Cy Young voting.
So this is a season where if Burns and Woodruff repeat that, they're on par, not as being as good as overall, picture-wise, Jacob and Scherzer, but they are in the discussion and potential punch in the MLB.
Absolutely. And what I'm worried about with DeGrom and Scherzer is, of course, their age and their injury histories.
Correct. Neither one of them is what is known as durable at this point in their careers.
I don't know if either of them are making 30 starts. I'll put it that way.
Right.
They could.
Right. Which is why the Mets have, 7 starters right now, and could probably do with another one. I read that they had interest in Kikuchi, but that he didn't move the needle enough for them.
I did see that.
Which is fair. That's fair. I mean, he's the definition of a depth guy.
Yeah.
And, I feel like when you already have 7 starters, the Mets are at the point now where they should do the patented Yankee move of scrap heap lightning in a bottle. Just sign 8 dudes to
last year on a 2-year deal with Jordan Yamamoto.
Oh, yeah, Yamamoto.
He's in AAA.
Yeah.
So he's a guy who could...
But he was also terrible last year.
But he's also a guy who could just like you said, just get that spark and have a
fair. Yeah, he's lightning the bottle guy. Yeah, I don't think he
the-
was ever that good on the Marlins where I can look at something to go, that's the guy.
I just think he's a guy where if somebody goes down and he needs to make a couple starts, you could be serviceable.
Oh yeah, he's a fifth starter. He'll lead some innings.
Especially with how much this lineup has improved.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. They'll win more games. They just have to.
So speaking of the lineup, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Robinson Cano.
Let's talk about him.
He's back.
He is.
Is he your starting second baseman?
It depends if they move McNeil or not. I think they will move McNeil because I don't know if his trade value will be higher than it is. And I could see him falling off a cliff. But he's a guy I like a lot. You can sneeze.
I'm burping.
Oh,
I'm burping off mic.
I appreciated you moving off the mic.
Don't need to call me out. Just keep talking next time.
I think McNeil. No, I think they move McNeil. I really do.
Okay, but why would you move McNeil when you have a 39, 38, 40-year-old Cano coming back off a PED suspension where he could show up and show that he's like major league trying to lose bad, like the movie. What then? Then you traded McNeil, so what? You put JD Davis at second base,
Luis
I guess?
Guillorme would play second base.
Is he good?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you
He's
trade
not as good
McNeil?
as Jeff McNeil, but he could play.
That's a problem.
Solid fielder, and he hits.
What hole do you have that makes trading McNeil make sense? What are you trading him for?
I would know people were throwing like Josh Hader out there.
I think that would be a horrible mistake.
I don't want him, but I think if there people are talking like upper tier bullpen for McNeil,
I think trading a consistent starting major league position player for a bullpen reliever.
But he hasn't been consistent. He had a terrible year.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess I forgot that.
He got into a fight because he refused to shift with your franchise player.
That's great.
That doesn't matter.
But he didn't hit either. Yeah, fair enough. I guess I really wasn't up on all the McNeil gossip.
He's a versatile player, which is attractive to other teams.
Correct.
On a good day, he can hit in the mid 300s.
On a good day, though, so you're saying he's pretty much potentially a glorified utility fielder who has the potential to be an everyday starter. So you're trying to sell high to get that piece to put you over the top?
I think you're selling low a little, but there's still so much potential, and I think there's still so much team control with him that it's appealing enough.
Fair enough. That's why I'd rather keep him personally, because you can always find it's easier to find bull spaghetti to throw at the wall than it is potential upside impact in field spaghetti to throw at the wall.
Let me say personally, I like Jeff McNeil. I would like him on the team. Mm-hmm. Even if he's not starting, he's a great guy to have, first man off the bench, pinch hitter, guy who can kind of slot in anywhere. But I think there are enough teams that would need him as a starter, that if that's your plan for him, and you can get something, you do it.
So now, how set is their roster? Let's go through it, because I'm not sure about some of the positions and people.
Who's going to have the most up to
depth chart? And that'll tell you. Usually ESPN will have that, and it'll show you, each position. It's like, I don't know who their catcher is.
James McCann.
Oh, McCann, that's right. He's pretty good. He's probably still a top 15 catcher. It's not saying much.
He wasn't great, yeah.
Look, I mean, outside of the top 4, they're all pretty bad. So, I mean, I'd rather have a top 15 than a bottom 15. That's going to be a pretty big drop off, even though you are dropping off from top 5 to 15. But what are you going to do? There's not that many.
There's not that many dudes, exactly.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And to see, Mitch Garver just get traded for Iser Falafa, or however.
Khalifa, I think.
I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. I'm not great with that. But
if you're listening,
shoot us an email. We'll
send you some coasters.
Yeah, we'll send you some coasters.
All right, so let's go through the Mets here.
So you got McCann, and then you got Alonso at first. Cano at second.
Yes.
Lindor short. And
yes.
You told me this 3 times.
Eduardo Escobar.
Eduardo Escobar is a third baseman.
Recently acquired.
Yeah. Okay. So then you've got Marte in center.
I would guess so. Yeah.
Right. Who's your right fielder? Who's your left fielder?
Right now they have the only right fielder they technically have on here is Canha.
Mark Canha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And but then you have guys like Nimmo can play either corner.
All right.
And then you've got McNeil and Smith who usually play left.
So you're putting Smith at DH, right?
I would.
Okay. So we're just making our depth chart
actually,
here, right?
do you want to know what I actually would do is put Smith at base and put Pete in the DH. But I understand why Pete's the first baseman. He earned it.
So if Dom's your DH.
Sure.
So then your corner outfielders, let's say what? Nimmo and Canha, right?
Yeah.
So that leaves your backup utility infielder as J.D. Davis, and your backup outfielder is McNeil.
And you have Guillorme would probably be the field first guy, with J.D. Davis almost like your pinch hitter or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so with your starting 9...
But you don't pinch hit anymore, I guess.
No, you don't need to. Well, your starting 9 and your backup catcher is 10.
Yeah.
So then you probably have 3 more players, right? So you're saying those other 3 players as of right now are McNeil, Guillorme. That is a pretty good fucking team right there.
It is.
Yeah, there's very few holes there other than the potential downside of Cano.
So do you think they're finally better, or they finally will be better than the Braves? Because on paper, they probably are better than the Braves now.
What's happening with the dude Ozuna? What's happening with him and having beaten his wife and stuff? Is he suspended? An
excellent question.
I don't think he got anywhere near what he deserved, as always, with this bullshit. But if he's still there and coming back, also Freeman, it depends. I mean, their team is so young and so good. I'm a Dansby Swanson guy, but I mean, he's fine.
Yeah, I don't think he's like a superstar.
Albies is good. Riley is good. Who else is in their outfield? It was Ozuna, Riley, and Riley played left and third, I think.
We pulled them up too. Ozuna got a 20-game suspension, so he's eligible.
That's it?
Yeah, right?
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's rough.
Whatever. There's nothing more I can say on that.
Pull the Braves depth chart here. Because that's the team to beat, right?
Nationals they're the World Series champion. They have to be. I don't care how good the Nationals are on paper. The Braves, they talk the talk, they walk the walk. They're the champs. They have to be the man, you got to beat the man. And baby, I'm the man.
So we've got Ozuna, Adam Duvall.
Oh, Duvall. What a great role player.
Guillermo Heredia, who played a lot of games, but he's probably a 4th or 5th guy.
Yeah, if he's starting meaningful games, you got a problem.
Acuna.
How could I forget Acuna?
I thought you said Acuna.
I did not. I said Albies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That Braves team has way more obvious star power, even without Freeman, than the Mets. I mean, the Braves can't touch Scherzer and DeGrom. But let's be realistic. Albies is hugely better than Cano. Lindor, I'm going to say, is hugely better than Swanson, despite last year. However, if he does what he did last year, that's no longer necessarily the case.
No, then you start worrying.
Right? So that's potentially closer than you want it to be, so I can't really go obvious Mets there, even though I want to.
Yeah.
I don't know who the Braves' third baseman is. Is it full-time Riley? I know he started as a third baseman, but I thought he moved to left field.
By the way, right now the Braves have 0 first basemen in their depth chart.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be something. Hey, if we sign Freeman, we can always trade him Voit. Love to see it.
Austin Riley is the third baseman.
So, yeah, look, Riley is better than Escobar because
He's good, yeah.
Escobar has had a great couple years, but if Riley does again what he did last year, he's upper echelon.
Correct.
I mean, so, yeah, even just right there, they don't need a first baseman to have a better infield. And Acuna is a top 5 player in the league.
Agreed.
I mean, Marte's too old to be considered that anymore, even though he's a great player for your team. I can't in good... And Ozuna, I think, is a better player than anybody else who plays the outfield for the Mets. Now, the Braves are a much better offense, hands down, without question, in my opinion. But it doesn't matter how good your offense is when you're facing Jacob deGrom, to be completely honest.
The pitching puts them over the edge, kind of, doesn't it?
So who are the Braves starters, anyway?
Max Fried.
Oh, right, Fried. Yep.
Ian Anderson.
Okay.
Charlie Morton.
Oh, Jesus.
And Oscar Hinoa.
Okay, yeah, the Mets take that by far. I mean, all 5 of the Mets starters, I think, are... Max Fried's pretty good, so he's probably better than...
Max Fried's probably a 4 or 5 guy on the Mets.
I think he's better than everyone other than DeGrom or Scherzer.
You think he's better than Bassett?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
I think so. Definitely more upside.
Right.
I mean, look, was Fried not good last year? He was great the year before.
Let's see how Max did last year. The other Mad Max.
Well, let's see if he was any good before we call him Mad Max.
Bad Max.
Bad Max. We got Mad Max and Bad Max.
He was good. 14-7, 304 ERA.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he would be the number 3 on the Mets very, very easily, and you take DeGrom and
Gold
Scherzer.
glove.
Good. Love to see it.
That's cool.
Braves pitchers in gold gloves. It's like chicken and rice.
Jake needs one.
He's got a few more years. But no, I think the Braves, I mean, even without a first baseman, the Braves are a better team at this current moment overall.
I think it's closer now. I'm comfortable with how close it is.
Of course. Again,
you know what I mean?
it's close enough where I'm not going to say that the Braves will win the division.
Right.
Whereas last year, I wasn't giving the Mets a chance. I'd say, look, they could.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I can't. You can't say, until the Braves relinquish the crown, they have too many good players.
That's usually my rule with them as well. It's not like the Braves got noticeably worse, and they won.
Look, losing Freddie Freeman will be huge, and their rotation is awful after Fried, in my opinion.
Do you think they pick somebody? There's nobody else to pick up.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I mean,
nothing that would make that much of an impact.
If I'm the Braves and my rotation looks like that, I'm giving him go somewhere else. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
For Freddie Freeman, I'm taking where I'm going to get paid the most, coupled with the best chance to win.
Yes.
I'll take $5 to $15 million less to go to a team that's more likely to win, well, even up to 20, because you'll get over your career overall. You'll make a lot more money being on a winning team and being a part of it as much as he will with endorsements, Hall of Fame, things like that, than you will taking the money up front to be on a shit trash team.
Absolutely.
So,
but that's how the Braves are.
No. I'm just saying you said for him to go anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying for him, I'm taking the money no matter what, other than that being the caveat. Or not.
That's not the teams that are going to be in.
If the Royals offer me, I'm going to be like, I don't know. Maybe I should go to another team and make 39 and actually be able to win and build my legacy that'll help me make money in perpetuity forever.
If the Royals are offering me $50 million, I got to know who else they're offering $50 million before I sign, because otherwise, if it's just me, that's not good.
Right. It's going to be you and Salvador Perez for 10 years, even after his knees explode.
Like 60-year-old Salvador Perez.
They allowed him a stool, though. They changed the rules. He has a stool.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No. I'm saying he'd be so old they would need to give him a stool. That was the joke.
Yachty in the stool.
Oh, yeah. Did he retire yet?
Oh, did he?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
If he didn't...
No, he didn't, right?
I don't know.
Nah.
If he didn't, he'd re-sign with the Cardinals, because he's going to be... That dude's a Cardinal for life. He has to be. Which is cool, because if you're not a Cardinals fan, you love it, because they'll keep signing him even after he's awful.
Yeah, they signed him. I thought so.
Of course.
1 year, $9 million. Man, I'm excited for baseball.
Me too, and anyone listening, if there is anybody, can probably tell how excited we are, because we're just riffing, man. I mean, we haven't gone through even half the stuff, and we're just going.
Do you want to briefly touch on a little American football news?
Yeah, anyone that knows me knows I'm a Browns fan, and I have to say, it's pretty big news that they just traded for Amari Cooper, even though it's kind of a nothing trade. I mean, they gave up a 5th-round pick. That's it.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper in a 6th round for their 5th round and their 6th round. They swapped 6th and gave up a 5th. That's unbelievable for a dude that the Cowboys gave up a 1st-round pick for in 2018, and still is one of the best receivers in the game. Sometimes the NFL amazes me with how far down someone's value can drop for no reason when they're still a top flight player. It's amazing to me. But I mean, as a Browns fan, I want to be excited. I want to be excited, but fool me once, And the Beckham thing, I've never been as excited as... I was just as excited for Odell Beckham as I was when Peyton Hillis was on Madden, because that's how bad the Browns were, and that's all I had to be excited about. And the letdown from both was really bad, because Hillis was out of the league a year later, and Beckham was... I don't need to rehash that, but... I have faith. It's hard to have faith, and it's hard to be excited. But I'm trying, and I would say I have faith that he'll be at least good.
And where are you on Baker right now?
Unless the Browns trade for Deshaun Watson, which I'm not getting into a discussion on the person. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the sports, and again, as I mentioned earlier, everyone's a piece of shit if you look closely enough, and he has done a lot of shitty things, but if he's going to be allowed to play in the league, what are you going to do? I mean, there's just as many people on every team out there that have done shitty things. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger got the send-off of a saint, and the dude's a fucking rapist.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do? It's the world we live in, unfortunately, and it's bullshit. But now back to football. Unless they trade for Deshaun, I think Baker has the most upside of anyone out there, and I would like to see him fulfill it with the Browns. Do I think he will? I don't really think so, but there's way more of a chance of him taking the Browns somewhere than Cousins or Garoppolo or Carr or any free agent or anyone other than Deshaun Watson. And if you're Seattle and you're trying to compete, aren't you taking some of those Russ picks and trying to trade for Deshaun now? So what else are you going to do? Pete Carroll isn't trying to rebuild, is he?
I can't imagine.
So at that point, what's the point? You know, they're going to probably outbid the Browns. I don't know. If Deshaun Watson is on the Browns, I'll be excited for the football team, even though I'll be angry that
it'll be Baker.
I think it'll be Baker too. I think it'll be Baker, and I think that this is the make or break year. It's his 5th-year option, and either he's good and he ends up... Look, it could be the Cousins situation, right? He's serviceable. He's fine. There's no one better. Think about... Let me put it to you this way. Think about how much worse the Browns quarterback position has been forever in perpetuity before Baker Mayfield. Signing him to a long-term deal and having him end up being Kirk Cousins ain't the worst thing.
No.
So, do you want it? No. But is it better than ending up with Mitchell Trubisky? I think so.
Very.
Does this mean that they're going to draft a wide receiver too, and they're going to have an exciting young rookie and Amari Cooper? I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
They just franchised Njoku too. I'm a big fan of. Or are they going to invest in the offensive line and the defense? Who knows? You know, I don't know. I don't know.
The offseason is young.
But I think I wonder if Clowney's still on the team. But I don't know. NFL free agency hasn't started yet, so he's technically still on the team regardless of his contract status. So yeah. Oh,
crazy breaking news from JT Kirkman.
We're getting it. Tom Brady's back. Tom Brady's back.
Wait, really?
Is he messing with us?
I don't know. He probably is. I'm gonna look this up.
Nope. He's back in Tampa. Tom Brady's back. You heard it here first. The 2 people that are listening that aren't JT. Tom Brady is back. I have gotten it confirmed from someone else.
Wow. So how long was his retirement? Was it like a month and a half?
He didn't even...
Was it even Christmas? It was this year, right?
He came back before free agency even officially started.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's so full of shit.
Wow.
Oh my god.
And you know what? Good for Tom Brady.
Oh my god. I mean, so what do you think? What do you think of this? What does this do for you? Where does this put does this make the Bucs an immediate Super Bowl contender again?
I don't know the contract situations of the other guys there, but that's a good team. I think you gotta say they're in the mix. I don't know if they're as strong as they were, but you can't count out Tom Brady. He's been doing it for so long.
Right. If there's one thing I've learned, it's you don't bet against Tom Brady. You bet less on him, the less likely it seems, but you never bet against him. And Wow, yeah, I think that immediately takes Tampa from a team that didn't know what was going on back to definite playoff team. I mean, they just franchised Chris Godwin. I think, is Mike Evans still there? I think he's still there, yeah. So, wow. I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't really see that one coming. I thought it was for real. It seemed like it was for real.
The old quarterbacks coming back from retirement never surprises me anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what it is for me.
That's fair. Wow. So, that takes a team out of the Deshaun sweepstakes.
It does.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Hey!
I like that not only did we get that breaking news, we got that breaking news after we transitioned to NFL chat.
Perfect.
It
Yeah.
really was perfect.
You made that happen.
Oh,
I also like that earlier today we decided to go on the air live in the evening in case anything fun happened in baseball. And I would not call the Sonny Gray trade fun when compared to Tom Brady coming out of retirement.
There's no comparison. There's no comparison.
So does this mean Gronk resigns in Tampa?
He must.
Not going to lie, I was kind of excited for Gronk to go to Buffalo. I thought, could you imagine Gronk playing with Josh Allen?
You think he's going to go to Buffalo?
Well, I thought I'd read there was a rumor that Buffalo was trying to recruit him.
Well, I could see him getting his head turned. But if I'm Gronk, I want to go back to Brady.
No, if you're Gronk, you're playing. You only came out of retirement to play with Tom. You're playing with Tom. That's just what I think. I'm not saying if I'm him, I would do that. That's what I see happening.
But if Buffalo wants him, I think you make a run.
Buffalo is a much more exciting team, it feels like. Even I don't know if they're different or if one's better than the other, to be honest. I couldn't tell you, but Buffalo just feels more exciting.
But for Gronk,
it's just weird to say.
I think you just want to be with Brady.
Buffalo.
You barely have to run routes. You kind of just go where you need to go.
I mean, the two of them, they're like on the same page, right? They're in each other's brain.
Yeah. It's like an intuition thing at this point with them. Mm-hmm. And that, you could build that up with Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. You could be a huge piece in Buffalo. But it's probably easier to just run it back in Tampa. You're Gronk. You don't like wearing shirts. You're going to go to Buffalo.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to wear multiple shirts.
So many shirts.
Not ideal. Yeah. Multiple pairs of Zubas,
Sleeves. Too. Yeah. He probably hates that.
I mean, Dawson Knox last year was like Mr. Touchdown. Could you imagine putting Gronk with Josh Allen?
It would be crazy.
And Diggs? Wow. Yeah. All right.
Tom
Brady's back, everybody.
Wow.
Tom Brady is back. Where were you when you heard Tom Brady was back? We were live on the Worst Fans Radio. That's where I was.
Hey, if you guys are digging this, we did a Krungbin concert that we went to earlier this week. It's on the YouTube channel, so if you're watching this on YouTube, just click over to the related videos. If you're watching this on Twitch, go to our YouTube channel and click on the related videos. And I had a lot of fun chatting about Krungbin. I had a lot of fun seeing Krungbin.
Yeah, Krungbin.
So I just wanted to give that a quick plug as we were kind of reeling from this Tom Brady news.
Yeah, I think that was a good time because we don't want to go into it again because we did that earlier, but we want to toss it out and say, we talked about. Yeah, well done.
Definitely.
Well done.
Definitely click that link if you're interested.
Yeah.
And check that band out. They're good.
Yeah, definitely check out Krungbin. Even if you don't listen to our review of it. Huh?
What have you been listening to?
What have I been listening to lately? Well, I just got Mariachi El Bronx.
Yes.
So I don't know those of you out there familiar with a band called The Bronx. Hardcore band?
Call them kind of a punk hardcore band?
Punk hardcore? Okay. So they have a mariachi outfit where they put on the full costume and traditional instruments, and they've toured a few times. Wilson and I have seen them actually together. He introduced me to them 2011, probably 2012.
Sounds about right. Whenever the first album came out.
Yeah. And they just did a 10-year anniversary repressing of their second album, which was the only one I didn't have on vinyl. So I just got that. I've been listening to that a lot lately. Today I went to my local record store yesterday, Hi-Fi Records, and the woman in there, Ace, she's definitely not listening, but if she ever does, you nailed it.
Shouts to Ace.
Because they do these $5 grab bag bags. And for my $5, I got the best of the Doobie Brothers, which you might not like the Doobie Brothers, but there's just something about Michael McDonald. I'll tell you.
I love Michael McDonald.
I love it in the most hilariously ironic way.
Also, you say I might like the Doobie Brothers, but that's not true. I like the Doobie Brothers.
I challenge anyone to find a song that that is well known that isn't on that album, and there's like 10 serious jams on that album.
Yeah.
Serious. And then Stevie Wonder, In Station, or it was a 1985 album that won the Grammy.
So it was nice. We were listening to it before.
Yeah, the third was a classical music compilation of Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Copland. It's great. I'm going to put it on when I'm trying to feel sophisticated or I'm just looking to relax. And the Italian opera one, which is not my speed, which will probably be put out on the curb for a free Craigslist pickup. But for $5, there's no way that I'm complaining. And I picked it because it had a drawing of a tree on it. And I'm a big nature and tree guy. A lot of my art has to
Stevie Wonder album, by the way, In Square Circle.
In Square Circle, yeah. So those are the In Square Circle, WrestleMania, April 3rd. Can't wait.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that much about it. Yeah, no, I don't know. But I'm going to watch it. I watch WrestleMania every year. I'm not a big wrestling guy anymore, but, I pay attention.
It's like the event.
It's the event. WrestleMania is the institution. So I'm excited for that. And it's funny. In Square Circle is, so... But that's what I've been listening to. And then also, I still can't stop listening to that new Wombats album, Fix Yourself and Not the World.
I'm going to, if any of you guys follow me on Twitter, I'm going to do a thread this week. I'm going to call it Music Mondays. Every Monday, I'm going to add to the thread just another album that came out this year that I'm just into.
I love it.
So many already this year. It's been such a good album year.
I love it.
One of those albums is called The Overload by a band called The Yard Act from England.
Okay.
It's kind of like a snotty British garage rock punk type stuff, but with like kind of dancey, funky guitars too, and just very like funny, kind of socio-political vocals.
Okay.
Weird British quips. It's just like up so many of my alleys, and I just can't put it down. Other one I'm digging is the new Spoon album. I love it.
I really enjoy it. I'm not a big Spoon guy, but I really like this album. I'm excited to go see them with you. I'm glad you asked me.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun show, and that album is just good. It's just a good rock and roll record from a good rock and roll band.
Yeah, no, this is definitely more my speed than a lot of their previous stuff.
Which is funny because I feel like they have like a format that they stick to in like a good way.
I think they do, but I think that this is an album where it's more only that, as opposed to only a few songs of that with them doing other things that they do well and historically have dabbled in.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
As an album, this is more enjoyable, where's previously there's like a few songs I'm like, oh, cool, I like this song.
It's such a banger.
This is just a great album. Yeah. To me, you know.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, one more let me throw at you.
Please.
You know I'm a big bluegrass guy. There's a new Yonder Mountain String album that just came out that I can't stop listening to.
Oh, man.
There's 4 songs on this album that are just really, really good. And I got to find you the name here. I didn't plan for this. So,
no, that's okay.
But Yonder Mountain String Band. The album is called Get Yourself Outside. And I haven't really listened to much Yonder in the last few years. You know, I forget his name. He left the band and then he passed away. They had a new singer. They had a female lead singer for an album, and now it sounds like one of the original guys is singing again, who sang a few songs in the earlier albums.
Oh, that's nice.
It's exactly, if you ever liked it, I mean, it's the same thing. It's great. It's, to me, getting back to their roots, and I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of bluegrass, I just booked a trip.
You did?
I did. I'm going to Red Rocks in July to see Trampled by Turtles.
I gotta get there.
So I might also go see the Black Keys. I land the day the Black Keys play at Red Rocks. So I might do Black Keys and Turtles at Red Rocks, and then that Friday I drive to Dillon Amphitheater, which is another outdoor venue in Colorado, about an hour and a half west of Denver. Never been there, but I'm going to see Trampled by Turtles there again. It's the 10-year anniversary of their Stars and Satellites album, so they're playing it, and they're calling it Stars Under the Stars.
They're doing that both nights?
I don't think so. It was advertised for Friday as that.
Oh, cool.
And that show was added later. The original tour announcement didn't have it. So I was on the fence about Red Rocks, and then when they announced that and I saw it was only 90 minutes west of Colorado, I was like, I'm going. There's another outdoor amphitheater. I'm going.
That would be great.
It's pretty much, I would doubt, going to be the same set list since it's billed as a album show.
Yeah.
So that'll be a really cool experience. Yeah. And then I have 2 days in Denver to just fuck around. And I'm going to go see the Rockies. We were discussing this.
Yes, the Sunday afternoon against
Sunday,
the Pirates.
July 17th, 18th?
Yeah, whatever the Sunday is.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the Rockies game. Rockies and who did we say it was?
The Pirates.
Pirates. Yeah. Well, can't win them all, but it'll be a baseball game.
It will be a baseball game. Take some pictures, man.
I'm excited.
In the background.
I'm excited.
Oh, man. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. We hit an hour, dude.
We've been on for an hour?
We've been on for an hour.
Man, I'm proud of us. We're doing great.
We are doing great. And if you're liking it, leave a comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Follow us on Twitter. Check out the Krungman review. And just look out for more of this because we're going to try to do this kind of every week.
Yeah. Links to Twitter and my beer Instagram should be in the description. And if you have anything you want to hear us talk about, anything you liked or didn't like, share it in the comments. Tweet at us on Twitter. Come find us. Interact with us. You know, let's get her going.
We'll see you soon.
Have a good one. Holy shit, we did an hour?